There we go. Now you're hearing me. Okay, folks, we're back. We're live with Ken Navarro, and as you can see, he's in the house. And Ken,
in my recording studio, Donna, I can't probably tell much from from the picture of me, but I'm here with all my equipment, my guitars, and everything else.
Right on. Right on. That's what's up. And folks, we just had a great show, Ken, with Walter Beasley and of course Karen Briggs. And
I don't know Karen, but Walter's a good friend and one of my favorite musicians.
well, you know what? He said the same about you.
Well, it's mutual. And Karen, I don't know Karen, but what a killer musician she is. She works a lot with my friend Keeling Minucci.
Yes, she does.
He speaks extremely highly of her, and I know how good Keeling is and how demanding he is. I've worked with him.
Yes, and yeah, you're right. Absolutely, both amazing musicians. And Karen, of course, gave us a taste, I should say, on the violin. So that was a huge treat for us.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Woo, folks. I can't even begin to say what an evening and what an evening, you know. This has been a marathon. I've never done this before and have four.
Yeah, I wondered. I know. I thought to myself, man, it's also a technical undertaking, isn't it?
Woo! Yes. You know, I don't think I have enough excitement in my life. And
right.
Yeah, so this is all new to me. I don't know that I will do this again soon. But you know what? So far, so good. And
exactly. I know. Well, what's the expression? If it doesn't kill you,
it makes you stronger.
Right. It makes you stronger, right?
Or crazy.
Or crazy. Me, I know. That's exactly how it is with me, too.
Yes. Okay, folks. You know what? Let's not waste another minute because how lucky are we to have Ken Navarro back in the house? We had him back in December. And at that time, Ken, you were telling us about a new CD. So
yeah, I was probably working pretty hard on it at that point, or near the end, but still, pretty much in the midst of it. And it's done. And it actually, the official release date is this coming Tuesday, March 20th. And
yay!
I can't believe it's finally arrived. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what? It's amazing CD, and folks, I so look forward to everyone getting the CD. It's out on Tuesday, you know, but you don't have to wait for Tuesday. If you go ahead and just order it now, you can pre-order it. You know, got a couple of days. Go in and beat the rush,
yep,
and get it.
For doing it, and of course, I've been selling it at my own website since January, and
that's right.
Sold quite a few copies. It's really great, this technology. I mean, aside from the amazing thing you and I are doing right now. It's just so great to be able to offer people who are fans of mine for the last 22 years the ability to get the music before it's out there and just to be able to sign it to them and all that kind of stuff. I'm really honored that I have gotten to the place where I can do that.
Yes, absolutely. And then you know what, folks, go to his website. Go straight there and get the CD. You know, you won't have to wait for Tuesday to come around. Get it directly from him now. He will get it to you and sign it. You know, that's the way to go. Okay.
Or whatever people like, I'm fine with it.
Yes, I know, Ken, but I want folks to get it from you.
I think there's something neat about when that direct contact is made. This is actually, the Test of Time is actually my 20th CD, and I hear from people who say, I have 15 of your CDs, and it's just amazing to me that I've been able to do this for so long and continue to cultivate new fans and get to know some of them, via Facebook and so many other ways, and via a great show like The Color of Jazz.
Oh,
directly being able to talk to people.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for that nice little plug there. And
well, thank you for what you're doing, Donna. It's great.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. This is fun, and of course, the folks in the chat and even the folks that are just watching the show, it's fun to know that they're out there and supporting you. And even if they don't get into the live chat, of course, we want to say hello to you as well. And let me say hi to Mikey. Mikey just jumped in the chat. So, hey, Mikey, how are you? And of course, Ken, say hello to Mikey as well.
Hey, Mikey, how you doing?
So this is the fun part when you guys get in the chat and you ask your questions. And of course, Ken, are you able to get in the chat at all?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
Should I go to your website?
You know what? Go to live stream. And folks,
Okay.
for those of you who are just who are watching the show and you want to get into the live chat with Ken and I, the link is www.livestream.com/the color of jazz. And I will put that in the chat for everyone. And Ken, I will put that in the Skype chat between us as well. Okay?
Right now my internet connection just seems very slow. So
okay.
It's taking a while to load it up.
No worries. So if you don't get in the chat, that you can at least, you're at least seeing it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. That's half the battle right there. We'll take that. All right. And Libby. Hey, Libby. Libby was with us last time when we had you on the show. And so welcome back, Libby. All right. I want to get music started, and we'll see if Ken can make it in the chat. And then, of course, I'm going to post on his page and my page and all over the world, I guess, and even tweet about Ken, because, you know, I'm in Twitter as well. I want to start from The Test of Time. This is the new CD that I've got Paul in the show next, that Ken has, okay? This is the new CD. It's called The Test of Time, and I have it right here. And we're going to hear lots of music from that. So I want to get it started, and I want to play Just Like a Woman.
Cool. I've been doing a lot of interviews and been playing a lot of the records. That is not one of the songs people picked, and it's one of my favorites. So that's great. I'm glad.
Yay, mine too. All right, folks, let's get that rolling. So we'll see if we can get Ken in the chat, and if not, he's at least watching the chat and can answer your questions when we get back from the music. Here we go. Just Like a Woman from the Test of Time CD. Here we go. Very nice, folks. And
Hey,
that was awesome, Ken.
I actually couldn't hear it, but you know what? That's fine because I've heard it a lot of times.
Yeah, you can't hear it, but that's all right
It is all right.
because
Not everybody else can hear it. Oh, it's so nice to see all these friends. There are some people at the show tonight with us, Donna, that one friend that I've known for, gosh, I don't know, getting close to 40 years, Joe.
wow. Wow. Hey, Joe.
Joe in Phoenix.
Right on. So big hello to Joe and
Christy and Eric are all the way in Seattle, Washington.
right on. Nice.
I think Renee is in Texas,
Yes.
in Lubbock, Texas.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure. Cecil, I think I think he's in Northern California, but I'm not positive.
Correct. And Cecil, of course, on the keys, folks. If you don't know who Cecil Ramirez is, then you need to. He was on the show last year, and make sure that you check out Cecil Ramirez. We'll give a shout out to you, Cecil.
Yeah, lots of wonderful writing as well as being a great player.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nice. Okay. I want to get back to message in a bottle, or I want to play message in a bottle, but I want to get back to your CD. Okay. Test of Time, the Test of Time, and talk to us, Ken, about how this CD came about for you.
Well, it was interesting because it didn't start off as me planning on doing a solo guitar CD. It was going to be my 20th CD, and, you know, with the grace of Summer Light and with Dreaming of Trains, I was going down a path of longer form compositions, music that really combined so many different elements of jazz together, really not concerned about whether it was smooth or whatever it was. It's just my music.
Yes.
And I expected the 20th CD to continue that journey. One of the things that I always do when I write new music is I bring in influences, and I listen a lot, and I try to learn new things. Sort of, you know, I think of it like investing in a bank account before you're going to spend it. You know, before you, the writing is and making of a record is kind of like going on a shopping trip. But you need to have something in the bank in order to go on a shopping trip. So one of the things that I was going to do to prepare for this 20th record was be able to play more parts simultaneously on one guitar, because I felt like that's what I really needed to do in order to play whatever new music I wrote live. And so I came up with a couple solo guitar compositions and shared them with a few friends and family, and the reaction was so positive and so strong that this was something I should pursue.
Nice.
And I did a couple more, and I realized I was working on a solo guitar CD. Not just a solo guitar CD like me playing by myself, but playing all of the bass parts, the chords, the melodies, even percussion all at once on just one guitar, which required a very new technique with my right hand. I had always played with a pick, where you hold a pick between your thumb and your finger, and I used fingers sometimes, but it was really mostly about, that kind of a style. Whereas to play, for example, in Message in a Bottle in the chorus, you have to play the driving 16th note sting bass line, the ba 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 ba. Then you have to hit these chords, these 3-note chords that come in these offbeat places. And then while that's all going on with the bass line and the chords coming in, you have to play Sting's melody on top of it all. And so, that's just 10 seconds of a 60-minute album. So there was a lot of new technique, and I basically spent all of 2011, 10 to 12 hours a day, coming up with these arrangements and being able to play them.
Wow.
Two different things. Sometimes I'd come up with an arrangement, and I knew it was right, but I also knew I had just made a bed I was going to have to sleep in, and it wasn't necessarily going to be a cakewalk. So, it came slowly but surely. There were times where I really wondered why I was doing this. I'm in my 50s, and I've been fairly accomplished as a musician. I've been able to make a living doing this for most of my adult life. And you kind of wonder why you're going in such a difficult area. But the reaction of people to those early solo things was so good and so strong. And I think that there's something about solo guitar. It's very intimate and very warm and very emotive. And it's one person speaking directly to the listener. And of course, for me, I can go in any direction I want. And as an improviser, that's really exciting, because if I want to make the chorus a little slower or change the dynamics suddenly, I just do it. And that's something when you play with a band, even when you play with really sensitive jazz musicians, they can't read your mind.
Right.
And you can't just go any old place. So anyway, that's a very long-winded explanation, sorry about that, of how the album came about.
You know what? No, that's absolutely fine. And this is the format to speak your mind and talk about the music and how it affects you, and what your thoughts were when it comes to making the music. And you know what? I loved what you said. This is just you. And I love that we get to hear you. We get to hear all about Ken through your favorite tunes.
Right.
I love that. And I can picture, you on stage and sitting there with your guitar, and just the spotlight is on you, and you are playing these tunes. And what an amazing concert event, even if it's in an intimate setting, that would be. So I can imagine your friends just saying, oh my God, yeah, you got to do this.
Yeah, well, I was, people tell you, your friends and your family are not going to say, I don't like that. But they will tell you when they really like something, if you follow what I mean. In other words, they're going to tend to be positive. But it was real surprising to me that one friend in particular, who's not necessarily a musician, but he's got what I call big ears. You know what I mean? He really hears like a musician, though he doesn't really play anything. And it was interesting and he knows my music really well and has seen the growth, but it was very interesting when he said, this is the best thing. When I just done 2 or 3 songs, he said, this is the best thing you've ever done.
Wow.
And that was surprising to me, because in a way that was also him saying, I like this better than the other things you've done, which is okay, because he's being honest, and that's my way of him telling me, what he really likes. And again, I think that, not to take away from the personality of one person coming through in a solo performance, but there is something about the nylon string guitar, that acoustic nature of it, that's so beautiful and so warm, and just there's a direct emotion from the fingers touching those strings to it coming out that's different than any other instrument. A piano can do all this at once, but a piano doesn't have quite that intimacy, I think, that an acoustic guitar does, especially the nylon strings, because they're so sensitive to every little touch, even where your finger hits it. Like if your finger plays right on the tip, that's one thing, and another thing if you play on the side, and another thing if a little fingernail gets involved. And all those little things are all part of the palette that you have that really shines when you play solo guitar, that you just can't have that sensitivity on an electric guitar and in a group. It's just, it's not to say anything negative about that, because there's so many cool things that happen when people interact. But that sensitivity to the touch is pretty unique to the acoustic guitar.
Yes, and I think you hit the nail on the head there where you talk about sensitivity. And you know what? I kind of think that's what the CD is. It's very sensitive, and because it's just you. And I love it. I love that your solo project, and it is. We get to hear you and have you all to ourselves on these songs. And Renee, of course, is asking me play Europa, and so I'm gonna play Europa. But Ken, tell us about Europa.
Yeah, well, Europa was one of those early songs that I came up with the arrangement for, and then really worked hard to play. It's a real tour de force. It's interesting that would be so early in the process, because it is a difficult song to play. Not that matters to listen to, when you're listening to it, but there's a lot of flamenco techniques in it. There's a lot of I do thumb slaps in the climax of the song, where I'm playing chords and melody, but I'm also playing slap bass. Much like you hear a funk bass player do.
Right.
And I'd never done that before. So, and that was just one of many techniques that song required. But the main thing was, I always thought that was just an incredible song. All these songs, to me, are classics, hence the test of time for the title of the CD.
Yes.
Europa, it's just, Santana's one of those players that I've been listening to since I was 16 years old. And I always heard, he played three notes, and I knew it was Carlos. And that's always the way it is with the great players.
Yes.
I heard Wes Montgomery. Every time I heard Wes Montgomery again, I knew it was Wes Montgomery. And Papatini has that same ability.
Absolutely.
And I hope to some extent I do. You just aspire to that. I think when you're so close to your own work, you don't really hear your own voice, But it's what I always aspire to in players. And so Carlos Santana and Europa just seemed like a signature song to tackle as a solo guitar piece.
Yes. Okay. Well, we got to play that, and then we've got to play "Message in a Bottle." We got to play "Imagine."
Yeah,
and
cool. Message in a Bottle. I still like hearing. That's my favorite Police song by far. And,
yes.
And it's got a great message too, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had hoped that we could play the video "Message in a Bottle," but as I've learned through a couple of shows, the video doesn't, or the audio does not come through well. But
right.
Folks, let me tell you, go to, you can see it on YouTube, of course.
Right, on YouTube.
And can we see that anywhere on your website?
Yeah, if you go to my website, there's a link to it right on the homepage, and a few other places, and you can get to YouTube easily from my homepage.
Awesome.
So whatever works. But yeah, go see the video. I would ask some of the early people who bought the CD in advance at my website, that they heard Message in a Bottle and said, I don't think this is just you on one guitar. And I said, well, I better do a video, so I prove it.
There you go.
It's kind of a raw video that's just basically showing, here I am doing it. This is how I do it.
Nice, 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 nice. And of course, the CD is out officially on Tuesday. However, you go to Paul might be calling, I guess. But anyhow, my mistake. Paul is coming on next, and it has been a long day, so I apologize. But if you go to Ken's website, you can order the CD and get it now, okay? I mean, you can get it. You put your order in now, I should say. So go to his website and get it. And then, of course, you can go to the other outlets, but why wait until Tuesday when you can have it already in motion after the show? That's just my thoughts on that, folks. So go to Ken's website, and I'm going to put that picture back up so that you will hear it, or you will see it. And while we're seeing that, I'm going to put on Europa, okay? So let's get that cracking. Here we go, folks. Europa, and of course, Ken Navarro, The Test of Time CD. Enjoy this. Okay, folks. I like that. And let me make sure I have my microphone. There we go.
Yep, yeah, you're there. You still hearing me okay, Donna?
I am. I am. And, you know, I just getting caught up in reading the chat. And, of course, I don't know if you saw that from Harriet or not.
I did.
So let me read that for folks who will be watching the show later in the archives. And, of course, Harriet wants to know, do you have a special place that you go for inspiration?
Boy, you know, that's always a tough question because there's no question that you know, you try to find the things in your life that I think we all do, you know, that make us feel peaceful and make us feel loved. And so I know I go to my family and certainly my wife of almost 40 years now for inspiration.
Nice.
But you know, the bottom line is that it takes a certain kind of I guess what I'm trying to get at is it takes a lot of hard work to get to the place where you can relax, because you obviously you can't tell yourself in the middle of playing or trying to come up with new music, relax. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
And what I find is what made it possible for me to get to that place with Europa was just a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And focus, you know, and there's still, believe me, I mean, I'm still working on all of this music because we have a lot of solo guitar shows scheduled already this year.
Yay.
And when I go out and play this music live, I want it to be better than the CD. And so I'm kind of putting a lot of pressure on myself to do that. My wife keeps saying, you just don't hear how good it's sounding. And all I hear, of course, is what I wish was a little better and a little better and so on. That's why it's pretty nice. It's nice for me to read all these nice comments and to hear the good things about the music, because I think, you know, one of the things as a musician, and particularly as a playing solo, I'm the one responsible for putting the bar higher, you know, and if I don't, it doesn't go any higher. So I really work hard on that. So the inspiration certainly comes from all the people in my life. All the positive people that are part of my life, but it also comes from just rubbing two sticks together and making something happen, you know. And then you get the rewards of that hard work. You have to trust, you know, which I'm all plenty guilty of, not always keeping the faith, but in the end, I always do.
Right.
And it comes through in the end. So that's all that counts.
Awesome. Well, here's to keeping the faith, and cheers. And the amazing work that you have done on this CD. And folks, again, you can get it directly from his website, The Test of Time, okay? And make sure you get that CD. And it's awesome. It's all the classics, of course, all the classics played just by Ken. And I think that, you know, it makes the CD very personal, very special, very intimate. It's all those wonderful things. And we get all that from Ken style, if you would, okay? This is, you know, so make sure you go.
Because even though obviously I always write my own music, and these are all songs other people wrote.
Right.
Interestingly enough, I never thought of this as a cover record, because I was so intent on doing these and making them my own, and they're all songs that over a long period of time have meant a lot to me.
Yes.
So it's interesting. I really think that it sounds like me, although clearly the composing all goes to, you know, just one genius composer after another. Everything from Henry Mancini is represented on here to Imagine, the way, you know, John Lennon composition, to the Santana, to the Police, to Pat Metheny. There's a song of Pat Metheny's called Letter from Home that I did a version of where I took the piano part, the guitar part, the bass part, and the string part, and put them all on one guitar. So, you know, but yeah, hopefully the one thing that ties it all together is my particular touch.
Yes.
Thank you for saying all those nice things, Donna.
Oh, you know what? You're welcome. They're true, and it's a great CD, Ken. You know, and I'm just so honored that you're back on the show and sharing it with us and this audience, and so it's a great CD, folks. And again, I really want you to get it from Ken's website, so you can get it now.
Thank you for the plug. And if people want to go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble or all the usual suspects, that's fine with me too.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine with Ken. I want you to go straight to his website and cut the middleman out. I'm just saying. Okay. That's me. So of course we got to say hello to Lisa, and Lisa is in the house. Lisa's from Dallas and just jumping in, and hello, Lisa. So while you guys are all chatting with Ken and Joe, you are so on the job here. Thanks, Joe. Putting the website, of course, in the chat. That's what's up. And of course, I'm tweeting, and you can follow Ken. For those of you who like to tweet, follow Ken there as well. It's Ken_Navarro, and that's his Twitter name. So go there and tweet. Go to your Facebook page, let folks know where you are. We're on the Color of Jazz and in live stream, of course. And we're hanging out with Ken Navarro. Oh my gosh, folks, we're hanging out with Ken. Ah, we're in his studio. Yay! Okay, I get excited about little things like that. And of course, it is exciting to have you here again, Ken. And you, of course, you're always welcome. But I want to play Message in a Bottle, and because that's a great rendition that you did. And yes, check out Ken on all the parts, folks. All of it is all. This is all Ken. Okay, get that. This is all Ken.
As far as I know, nobody else has done a solo guitar version of this. I think because it's just too hard.
Right.
I came up with the arrangement, and then I said, now it's going to take a good month just to learn how to play this. And,
wow.
But it was well worth it. I'm really happy about how this one came out. And people, again, I encourage them to go to YouTube and check out the video too.
Check out the video so you know it's just Ken, okay?
Right.
So, and then here, just, you know what, listen to it right now, kick back and enjoy this Message in a Bottle, and of course, Ken Navarro from his latest CD, The Test of Time. Go to his website after the show and get it. Here we go, folks. Very, very nice. And of course, folks, Ken Navarro, Message in a Bottle. And from the Test of Time CD. Gotta love that. I do. And I hope you guys were enjoying that. Just awesome. Just awesome.
You know, there were, in the course of coming up with the music for this album, there were a lot of songs I started that just didn't work out to be the right thing for solo guitar. And sometimes it was because they were kind of repetitive, and without the lyrics, you know, you kind of, it went on too long. But
Right.
one of the things I learned about Message in a Bottle was that Sting basically comes up with a new melody and new phrasing for all three verses. And that's what made it possible to do that song and keep it interesting. But it also meant that every verse was like learning a whole new part of the song, because it's almost as if he's improvising a melody on top, or I bet that's how he wrote it. He kind of improvised. And even though the Police at that time were a pop band, I really think that his jazz influences show in the way he constructed the melody for this, because playing it on solo guitar, you realize all the little details when you try to recreate it. When I'm playing Message in a Bottle, I'm singing the song in my head, and I'm
Yes.
lyrics and the phrasing. That's what makes it work.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm sure a lot of folks are doing the same thing, you know. You're hearing it in your head, and you know, you're hearing the whole thing, and you're playing the whole thing, so it's perfect. It's great. I love it.
Thanks. It's always nice to hear that. Thank you.
You know what? It's such an awesome CD, and what an amazing undertaking that you took to bring us this CD, and of course giving all of you, and with all this incredible music, and putting your arrangements and all of you into it. And it's just great. It's a great CD, guys. You know, awesome CD. I really hope that you guys will pick it up. And I'm a fan of an actual CD, not the whole. You know, don't go to iTunes. I know I'm a little bossy here, but I am going to
Oh,
say
I agree. It also gives you that direct contact
yes,
with the musician, you know.
yes.
And in my case, I really do communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you're communicating on your Facebook page, of course. And folks, I just want to say, please get the CD from Ken, and please do not just get Message in a Bottle. You're going to miss out on this whole experience of the test of time if you download one song.
Well, I actually put on 2 bonus tracks for that reason, because I think iTunes is great. I'm really happy that such a thing exists, but I really believe in albums. You know, one song is almost like a chapter in a book to me.
Right.
I write books, or I try to create things that it's all about the way the whole thing is, you know. So we put the bonus tracks on there to try to make it that much more appealing to people to buy the whole release, instead of picking just one or two or three things.
Absolutely. So, folks, from both Ken and I, please get the whole CD, because I don't want anybody to miss out on this entire experience. And of course, you get to hear Ken going in different moods and spaces and areas with this CD. You know, because it's all Ken, and I don't want you to miss out on this. So get the CD, get it from his website. I'm just saying, but get the CD, okay? And if you're going to download it, then download the entire CD. I just want you to have the liner notes and all that. You know, see who's supporting Ken and who he's thanking and things like that's important. Folks, please make sure you're connecting with Ken in Facebook. And Ken, you're maxed out, aren't you?
Say that again?
You're maxed out on Facebook?
I am, although I go through periodically and try to keep it below that magic 5,000 limit, so that people can continue to request friendship. I started on Facebook 7 years ago, and I never saw it as a fan thing. I saw it as a way for me to talk directly to people.
Right.
So I've kind of resisted, that that's going that way. There is a fan page, but I don't have anything to do with it. I don't know who started it. But yeah, no, I still, and I make it so that my Facebook page is very open. You don't have to be a friend to write on the page, send me a message or all that. So, you know, if I can friend people, I do, but it's hard because I have to kind of, you know, trim it, you know,
right.
Time to time to try to make it so people who really are fans or really are friends, you know, there's room for them too. But they still have access, even if they happen to friend me at a time when I can't friend them back.
Right. Well, as you know, we are at the top of the hour, Ken, and I am just...
It flew by.
Yeah, you know what? An hour is never enough, and
it felt great. I really had a good time. I hope.
Awesome. Of course, I had a great time. Anytime that I can hang out with you, play your music, and have folks also hang out with you at the same time, it's a beautiful day. So I appreciate you, Ken. And of course, any parting words for us this evening?
Just that it's one of the wonderful things about this type of music, whether we call it smooth jazz, contemporary jazz, whatever we want to call it, is I can't tell you the quality of the types of people who listen to this music and how much me as a person who makes this music appreciates that quality of listener. The people who really listen, who really feel it. And of course, my thank you to you, Donna, for going to the time and trouble to support artists like me, growth of this music, because that's jazz is all about moving forward. It always has been, but without folks like you, people don't necessarily know. Even with all the stuff that's out there on the internet, you make a focus and a presentation that the quality of that makes a big difference in my life. So thank you for doing that too.
You're welcome. You are so welcome. And again, I'm just grateful for you, and again for sharing your music with us, and coming back on the show. You are so always welcome. And you know, again, an hour is never going to be enough time, and so we got to do it again. Anytime.
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anytime you're ready, just holler at me, and I'm like, yay, of course. And
we'll try to do it sometime before the next one. I think it might be a while before the next.
You know,
I need to focus on this one, and I'm sure we'll find another time to get together and just talk, chat again.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely do that whenever you're ready. Just let me know. I would love to have you just to come and hang out, because that's what the show is about, is hanging out on the show. So
great. Thanks again, Donna.
You are welcome. And folks, hang on, because Paul Brown is calling me. He's next. And so folks, hang in the chat with me. And of course, say goodnight to Ken in the chat. And Ken, of course, you're welcome to hang out with us as well.
Hey, give my best to Paul, please.
I will. And Paul, if you're watching the show, I'm call me. All right, folks. Good night. Okay, folks. Paul Brown is trying to call in, and Paul, please call me back. I missed you in Skype, and please just call me back. And I'm saying goodnight to Ken, of course, and he's probably still in the chat. So if he is, just say goodnight to him, or if he wants to hang out, that works as well. Let me see if I can't flag down Paul. And Paul, I haven't forgotten about you. Not at all. So let's see if I can't get you back. And I'm going to say, call me, Paul. Call me. That was the song back in the, I think, early 80s or late 70s. Call me. Forgot who sang that. No, not SOS. Anyhow, you know what? Let's put some music on. And while I work on getting Paul Brown, he's calling me. And When You Wish Upon a Star. Enjoy that. All right, folks. I have Paul Brown in the house with me, and I think you're probably seeing Paul on the video. Yep, there you go. Nice smile, Paul. Very nice. And let me bring me on as well. I'm going to try and get Paul in the live stream chat with us. And I'm going to set this down so we can hear Paul. Hey, Paul, how are you?
How you doing, Donna?
I'm great.
Hi.
Great to have you again on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're always a lot of fun, and you always have great energy, so this is exciting.
Right.
It's very, very exciting to have you back. So, you've got some new music that we want to talk about, right?
Oh, yeah, the funky joint in the house.
Right? Are we in the funky joint?
No, I'm in the office next to the funky joint.
Ah, all right. All right.
Adjacent, we call this, the Studio B.
All right, that works. Well, of course, folks, Paul Brown is with us, and I got to tell you, Paul, this has been quite the evening. I have been at this. I'm going on 4 hours now, folks. This is a marathon, the color of jazz, straight up marathon. And start out with Karen Briggs, and then Walter Beasley, Ken Navarro, and now Paul Brown.
Whoa.
You know, this is like the Color of Jazz festival. And everyone gets to hang out, you know, from the comfort of their own home, I guess. So that's what this is. All right, folks. I want to put on some music from Paul Brown. And while we're listening to some music, then I want to try and get Paul into the live stream chat and see if we can't take it from there so that he can also see the show. And before I do that, I want to say hello to Eric, who's just hopping into the chat. And hello to you, Eric. Eric was on the show, and you can see that. And Eric is going to be back on the show next month, so looking forward to that. But we're going to start off with the title track from the Funky Joint, okay? Right?
Yeah.
And again, like I said, we got Paul, and we're going to kick it up a notch. So let me get the music started. I'm going to work with Paul in the chat and see if we can't get him to where he's watching, at least seeing the chat, if he can't get into the chat. So enjoy this, folks. It's the title track, The Funky Joint. Yes, we said The Funky Joint. Yes, we did. Here we go. Enjoy, folks. All right, folks, I am working with Paul to get him into the live stream. And Paul.
Yes, dear. I'm going to stay and say something.
You know what? You can see the chat though, right?
I can see what?
Can you see the live stream chat?
Yes.
Awesome. That's what's up. We're halfway there, folks.
That didn't work.
No?
Wait a second. I just say that doesn't work.
Yeah.
We went to that last time. I won't bother chatting.
Okay, well, you know what? Can you at least see the chat?
I can see it. Oh, wait a minute. It says, oh, I see it. Put me up. It says the color of jazz. Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. That was me.
Oh, you know, I was going to say, I didn't say that. Okay, so check this out. Me and Paul. Let me see if I can type into the chat. But here's the deal, folks. Paul Brown is in the house. If he has to post as me, that's fine, okay? So you can ask your questions of Paul, and we got him in the chat. So this works, okay? And I will be going to your page here in a little bit, Paul, to let folks know that you're in the chat with us, okay? So, all right, Paul, let's talk about the funky joint.
Let's do that.
Yeah, because that's why you're here.
Hello.
Hello. So, the title track, tell us about that.
Which one?
The title track, the funky joint.
Yeah, well, I've been calling my studio here at home the Funky Joint for about 20 years, and partly because it's a funky joint, and partly because the music that comes out of there is funky.
Right.
But that was the Funky Joint. We decided to use that as a title, and it kind of went back to my roots of old, R&B, old school, a little blues, a little funk, R&B. So it's kind of like a throwback to 24/7, some of the earlier stuff that I did.
Yes, yes. Very funky. And of course, folks are, they're seeing you in the chat and they're saying hello. Renee, of course, from Texas, and Cecil from Northern California, and Eric. Eric, I forget where you're from. But anyhow, everyone's in the chat, and some other folks I know I missed, so my apologies. But Paul's in the chat. He's chatting as the color of jazz. That's Paul. That's not me, folks. That's Paul.
I put here on the say, this is Paul. There, love you all.
There you go. Love to you all from Paul.
My sentence is this is Paul, or it's Paul for now.
It's Paul, y'all. It's him. So he's live with us. And of course, yes, Eric is from Akron. So of course, y'all saw that in the chat. So Akron, Ohio.
Right there once at that place with the like an Indian, Middle Eastern, big, huge building with 2 or 3 different stages. What the heck's the name of that place? Shoot, he'll probably know what it was. Tangier, that's
Tangier.
right.
Nice, right on.
The place is funny. The pictures in there are amazing.
Nice. All right.
So what made record with Rob? I'm not sure I understand the question, but he's talking about Rob Tardik.
I think he's talking about Rob Tardik.
Well, I was up in Canada at the Smooth Jazz, Canadian Smooth Jazz Awards show, and met Rob, and he's a really nice guy, a very good guitar player. And he had, he kept trying to get me to produce some stuff for him, and we never really got that together. But he sent me that song, and I really liked it, and I heard like the whole other thing on it, so I wrote that melody for it, and sent it back to him. He's like, oh yeah, this is cool. So that became a sort of duet song. So that's kind of the way that thing came to be, East Meets West.
That's a great song. I love that.
Well, yeah. Rob's a really, really cool dude. Lives up near Mississauga, up in Canada. He's been down here a few times.
That's right. And the very first show that he did with me, we had pictures of you and him together in Cali, and I guess at the Funky Joints, and so that was a lot of fun, and great artist, yes. So you do a lot of producing.
Yes, ma'am. As much as I can.
Nice. much as you can. So, who are some of the folks you've produced?
Well, in the smooth jazz world, it kind of started in 1990 with Boney James, and that sort of kicked the whole thing off because I really hadn't worked in jazz at all. I was really doing R&B music, Luther Vandross and Shy and stuff like that. And I met Boney, and I sort of convinced him that we should do a jazz album that was like a Luther album but with saxophone instead of vocal. So that's what we did on that first album, and that was over 20 years ago now. And we since then we did 9 records together total, and probably wrote well over 100 songs together.
Wow.
But he was the big that sort of got me going in the jazz world, and people were kind of like, well, shoot, these records they're going platinum. What are you guys doing? So everybody started sort of going down that same street, sort of R&B driven, urban sounding instrumental music. And a lot of people started copying that style, but that was kind of what we did naturally, and we're still doing it.
Yes, absolutely. And just awesome what you were doing.
I started working with Rick Braun and Peter White, Kirk Whalum, and then I got a job at Warner Brothers as a producer and sort of building a roster. And we built a pretty amazing roster at Warner Brothers with Norman Brown, Al Jarreau, George Benson, Boney, David Sanborn, Pat Metheny. I mean, we had an unbelievable roster. But that was then. This is now.
And now, of course, you are doing a lot of your own music. Yes?
Yeah. This is my 6th album that I just put out, Funky Joint, my 6th CD. So.
Awesome. Awesome. And, of course, awesome CD, folks. Hey, Paul, where can we get your CD? What's the best place?
Well, probably the easiest is Amazon.com. That's a real, just comes to your house. I think they even have free shipping. And then iTunes, of course, and whatever stores are in your area, if there are any left.
Right. That's right. If there's any stores left, folks, you know how I feel about the music and the importance of getting the entire CD. That's important to me because I just believe that you miss out on the experience when you download 1 and 2 songs. So I want you to get the entire CD, and I want you to open it up and read the liner notes and see who Paul is thanking and who's supporting Paul on his CD.
CDs are good.
CDs are good. And then when he comes to your town, you get to have him sign that CD for you, right?
Right.
That's what's up. So make sure, buy the music, the whole project. Thank you, Eric. That is so true. Very true. So, Paul, can we get that from your website also?
I think the website will probably point you towards Amazon or my record label, Woodward Avenue. But I don't think you can buy it right off the website, no.
Okay.
I am signed to a label, and that's the way they like to work it. But Amazon, it's so easy. Amazon.com, and boom, you're there.
Right on. Folks, go to Amazon and get the CD, and get the CD ordered and sent to your house.
Number 1 on Amazon right now.
Yay! Congratulations.
For about almost a month now, the first 3 weeks of pre-orders, it was number 1. And so it's been out now for a week, and it's still number 1 in Amazon.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. Well, I want to make sure. Say it again.
Somebody's buying it. I don't know who they are, but they're buying it.
Y'all better be buying it. It's good. The CD is good.
Sales are up, 20%, so from last year.
You know what? The music speaks for itself, Paul.
Cheers, Donna.
Cheers to you. Hey, what are you drinking?
A little French Burgundy.
Right on. And you're kind of a wine connoisseur. Yeah? What'd you just say? Because I missed that.
But somebody's got to do it, so cheers.
Somebody has to do it. You're right. You're kind of a wine connoisseur, right?
Well, I love it, and again, I have a passion for it. And now I'm working on a TV show about wine and music called Pinot Envy. I think I talked to you about that before. And it's going to be a show about the, sort of the inside workings of the music business. And we go to different artists' wine cellars and see what they're drinking and talk to them in the studio. So far, I've done George Duke and was up at his studio. And then I'm going to do Quincy Jones and like that kind of thing. And a lot of footage from live concerts and stuff.
Right on. Nice. Any idea when we can see that or expect that?
Well, I'm just finishing the pilot, and then we got to go sell it. So it's just like music, you just have to sort of do the same sorts of thing.
Hey, could you put it out on your own?
What?
Could you put that out on your own?
No, I didn't put it out. I'm going to sell it to either the Travel Channel or one of those Bravo or History Channel,
Okay.
something like that.
Nice, nice, nice. So do you think you'll ever have an audience where we can like come and sit and you do your show and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I hope to.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm planting seeds as I always do, and so I'm planting seeds to come on your show.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said I'm planting seeds to come on
People
your
saying
show.
it's very hard to hear me. Should I hold this thing closer to my head?
No, we hear you fine.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, but I need you to hear me, of course.
I
Just
can hear you
saying.
just fine.
Good, 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 good. So, okay, I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to plant another seed. I'm planting seeds that I get to come on your show.
That'd be good.
I know. I think that'd be lots of fun.
Or we could just go to Denny's and bring our own wine.
You got it. That works too. Hey, maybe the little bottled wine. Yeah, maybe the little Sutter Home bottled wine you get in the 4-pack. Yes, I'm up for that as well. All right.
Grand Slam, that's what I want to know. What wine pairs with a Grand Slam? Figure that out.
Folks, figure that out, please, and let Paul Brown know that. Go to his Facebook page and say, I was at Denny's, and I'm thinking that maybe a Riesling or a Burgundy or whatever you think goes well with a Grand Slam, if you will, from Denny's. Please let us know. I would be interested in that as well. All right, folks.
The audience needs to know that when I was in town, you really took out all the stops and took me out to Denny's, which was really a nice thing of you. And I've been, talking about it ever since.
Denny's is the place to be, folks. Yes.
It was the only thing open in her defense.
You know what? It's Denver, so it's not LA. And, things start shutting down very early, like, after 9, the place closes down, basically. So, but I, of course, enjoyed a live concert, hanging out with Paul and Darren Ron. So that was an awesome show.
Yeah, we've been having some fun with that, the producers. And hopefully we're going to do a lot more of it coming up here soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, of course, going to get Darren Ron on the show. And then, of course, it'd be fun to have both of you cutting up as well.
Do that.
I will. I'm going to work on that. All right. So, from the Funky Joint, Paul,
Yes.
How about Backstage Pass?
Thought you'd never ask.
Yeah?
I always wanted to work with Bob James. I mean, he's just one of my all-time favorite artists, favorite guys. He's just great. And I have produced a few songs for him in the past. And it was just a great opportunity. I sent him the track, and I just said, hey, did you hear anything? Please play on it. So he sent me back this thing, and I was like, Bob James, you can't mistake it all the way,
Right?
And I love it. It's just my guitar and him playing. It's just a dream come true for me.
Right on, yes. And, of course, the song is awesome, and I want to play that because, Bob James is also a favorite of mine, and, of course, pairing you two together, that's what's up, and So let's go ahead. Let's get that flowing. And again, folks, Backstage Pass.
Backstage Pass.
Backstage Pass. So while we're playing Backstage Pass, folks, go get a glass of wine and
go to Amazon.com.
right. Probably want to do that first before you get the wine.
For the record, while you're listening to this interview.
Hey, as long as you can multitask. If you can't multitask, then you got to wait. I'm just saying.
Open
right.
New page. Thank you. New window.
Yes. Here we go, folks. Backstage Pass. Enjoy this. And enjoy Paul Brown, as I am, and having him on the show. Lots of fun. Here we go. Backstage Pass. Folks, what did you think about Backstage Pass? And I like that. Of course, you know, Bob James, and big, huge fan of Bob James, and of course, Paul Brown as well. And I like that. Very mellow, but you're right. Very Bob James. Yes? Yes.
There's some questions on here. Should I answer them just without typing, just on the phone?
You know what? Let's do both. What are some of the questions?
I don't know what this last thing was, kind of weird, but an artist that you would like to work with but haven't had a chance.
Yes. Tell us about that. That was from Harriet. Who would you like to work with that you haven't had the chance?
There's quite a few. Most of them are outside of the jazz world, but I'd really like to work with Jamie Cullum, for one, Aretha Franklin, who I've actually worked with, but I like to actually do a jazz record with Aretha Franklin would be pretty amazing. I don't work with Joe Sample. I'd like to work with Joe and do some playing with him. That would be really, really cool.
That would be awesome. Yes. Who else?
This other thing, it says, hell, I can get stoned with the worst, but I ain't no racist. I'm not sure what that means. That was from Mrs. Is? What that is?
I don't know. Well,
I got people drinking scotch. Somebody's drinking sherry stout beer, dessert wine. Are you going to have to pull some corks when you're up in Northern Cali? Yes, definitely.
awesome.
Am I working with any younger producers? There's one, this gal in England, Paris. She's pretty cool. She did a remix of the Funky Joint that was kind of groovy.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't generally work with a whole bunch of different producers, so
Nice, nice.
the answer is no. It's narcissist, not racist. Oh, I see.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Not sure what it's pertaining to, but either way, I don't care.
You're not a narcissist. Narcissistic?
He's calling me a narcissist, maybe. I don't know. That's
Nah, I don't think he's calling you a narcissist.
probably true.
Well, Harriet wants to know, are there any upcoming projects with Mark Antoine?
And you are so good together.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm playing with Mark. I think one of the reasons I've been getting a lot of compliments on this new CD about my playing, and I think, you know, having toured with Mark for 3 years really got my playing up a many notches, and it's noticeably at a much higher level on this particular CD.
Wow.
So I thank Mark for that. He's been having some health issues, but he's getting back playing now. He's going to be in a couple of concerts actually this month, and then he's going to be out in L.A. in July. We're going to play together
Nice.
on the Dave Koz cruise that starts in Barcelona.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. That ought to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. How can so when is that cruise?
Say it again?
When's the cruise?
September.
September. All right, folks. You know what? You still got time to hop aboard and get your room, I'm sure. I hope. You know what? And let me just back up and say, check it out first, because, you know, Dave Koz, an amazing artist.
I've heard that it's sold out. It's been
That's-
sold out for a long time. But
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. You know, see if there's a waiting list, folks. I don't know. You know what?
actually, would I do something with Bootsy? That's hilarious. It's funny because I called my son Bootsy for the first 12 years of his life. Sort of outgrew it, but I love Bootsy, so that would be classic.
Of course, you know, I asked when you were here in Denver at one of your breaks, I asked if you would do some funk. What did I ask? The Ohio Players.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I love Ohio Players, too.
I know, right? That's what's up, the funk. And, of course, that would be awesome.
I'm working on it.
Great. We appreciate that. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, let me get some more music on from the Funky Joint. And, folks, I'm going to put up
Hey,
the
what are you
picture.
going to play?
What am I going to play? What do you want me to play?
What are you going to play?
Well,
Like, I got a feeling.
you know, I was just looking at that. I got a feeling. Okay, let's do it.
Let's dedicate that one out to Gianna.
All right. Gianna, this is for you. I got a feeling. Here you go, girl. Enjoy. I got a feeling.
Every time you're near, such a feeling. I can't explain, my dear, but what a feeling. Oh, what you do to me, babe. What you do to me. I used to be the one, as cold as I could be. Nobody made me do a thing now. I guess I met my match, 'cause you put an end to that, yeah. And now I'm like a puppet on a string, yeah, yeah. I get a feeling, when you call my name. I get a feeling, yeah. Feeling, baby. Baby, it's a shame, but what a feeling, yeah. Baby, what you do to me. Oh, what you do to me. Come on. That's right. I used to be the one, cold as I could be. Nobody made me do a thing. But I guess I met my match, 'cause you put an end to that, yeah. Now I'm like a puppet on a string. I get a feeling, babe. Every time you're near, I get a feeling, girl. I can't explain, my dear, but what a feeling, feeling. What you do to me, what you do to me. Come on. Really got a feeling now. Got a feeling now. What you do to me? Do to me. I get a feeling. Oh, what a feeling. What a feeling, babe. Such a feeling, babe. Come on, such a feeling, babe. You know what?
Okay. Paul Brown, folks, from the Funky Joint, and I Get a Feeling.
I get a feeling. That's Johnny Guitar Watson song.
Right?
From the 70s.
Right? So tell us who's on vocals.
Say what?
Tell us who's on vocals.
That was me, yours truly, on vocals. It wasn't Bob Skaggs.
Right?
I have been hearing people say, you sound like Bob Skaggs. On my last record, I sang 3 songs, and this one gal came up to me at a concert and goes, God, what a great idea that was to have Van Morrison singing 3 songs on your CD. I'm like, that is a good idea. That wasn't going to happen, but that is a good idea. Starting to get a little bit more comfortable, I guess, with my freaky voice.
There you go. Yes, folks, he does sing, and he produces, and he's a guitarist and a Grammy Award producer. He's all that, and of course, talking about Paul Brown, and yeah, singing on his own CDs. So, there you have it. Yes. All right, and I want to see, because I haven't been back in the chat since you're in the chat, We got any more questions in there? This is soulful.
Soulful, thank you very much. And
yes.
Somebody said they need to drop their coffee and pick up a glass of Merlot. That's what I'm talking about. But I do have one problem with that. You're drinking Merlot? Dude.
Okay, y'all, we got the jazz connoisseur and the wine connoisseur in the house. So I'm just saying. So there you have it. We got a wine critic. So yes. Pick up some Pinot Noir. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Right on. That's what's up. Yes, and you know what? I'm going to piggyback on what Paul is saying and of course what Harriet is saying in the chat, that it is soulful. That whole CD, it's very soulful. And again, you got to get it. And you can go to Amazon or iTunes. But of course, if you're going to do that, folks, you know me, get the entire CD. Go to Amazon and order the CD. That way you'll have it.
Yeah, and if you order from Amazon, you get the 10 songs. If you order it from iTunes, you can actually get there's a bonus track called Gibson Blues, but then you don't get the full definition and the artwork and everything else. And, you know, iTunes just doesn't sound as good as a CD. There's just no way.
You know, I feel the exact same way. And
it's great quality, and everybody's going, oh, it sounds fine. It sounds just as good. And I think finally people are starting to realize that is not the case, and iTunes just doesn't sound good. It's very convenient, but the sound is just not yet up to the standards of a CD. Hopefully one day they will be, but at the moment it's not.
Right. So there you have it, folks. Get the CD, as I always say, and I want you to have the liner notes anyhow, so go on and get the CD, please. Do that. Do it. Yes. All right, Paul.
People, does anybody buy the CD tonight?
Who's buying the CD tonight, folks?
Anyone?
Anyone? Anyone?
You know I got to get Donna her cut, so let me know.
I get a cut?
Yes.
Really? Yay! Oh my God! Could you come back next week?
50% of what I make, which is nothing.
Well, you know, right? 100% of nothing, folks, is nothing. Okay, there you have it. Okay, hey, how about Tough Times?
Which one?
Tough Times.
Tough Times, oh yeah. I just thought that was kind of like this, you know, Ain't No Sunshine kind of a groove. A nice blues, but it still has a jazzy quality to it. And, you know, tough times right now are very, very tough for musicians especially. And people just trying to make records and having no budgets, and new artists having no record labels to go to, and it's just the whole thing is a big drag. But anyway, that's what that song was kind of reflecting when I wrote it. And Jonathan Fritzen, this Swedish pianist, was at my house right before I released the CD, and I said, you know what? Why don't you listen to this song and see if you can add anything? So it became sort of a duet, but that was kind of a last-minute thing. I love what he played on it.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. This is how we roll, right?
Yay.
You know what? When we come back, will you sing for us?
Sure.
You will?
Every time I'm in, I can't explain my head.
Right on. Right on.
That boss guy's right here. Boss, come here.
That's what's up. All right. I'm going to put on Tough Times featuring Jonathan Fritzen. And, of course, hanging out with Paul Brown, folks. How cool is that? How cool is that? Here we go. Enjoy this. Get in the chat with Paul. He's reading your comments. Nice. Awesome. I like that, Paul. And I'm wondering, did we lose you? Oh, hold on. That's my bad. I didn't have you on speaker. So what I said was I really like that.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome, awesome. Very cool. I really like this whole CD, folks. And,
Yeah, Donna?
hmm?
Getting tired yet?
You know, just because I've been doing this what, 4 hours? Is that why you think I might be tired?
No, it's like anything else. You start getting more hyped up and more like focused and all that.
Yes. And you know what? I got to tell you, and we kind of talked earlier, and the color of jazz for me is, it's not my hobby. It's my passion. You know, I so enjoy hanging out with folks like you and just having a good time. And I like that. I like that, you know, the fans get to hang out with you as well. Paul, I am going to lose you because check this out. My battery is dying out.
So we're done then?
No, we're not done.
What?
No, we got 7 minutes.
Oh, 7 minutes. You can't hang for 7 minutes?
I can hang. I hope my battery can hang. Please hang. Right? So, yes, Harriet has coffee if I need it. But you know what? I saw some really cool things in the chat. So
Go over there and check it out. I was spending too much time probably on my own little chat box over here. Let me see.
well, Harriet wanted to know, when will we see a chance, when will we have a chance to see jazz artists playing during prime time at the Grammy Awards? What do you think?
I don't see it happening anytime soon. They're really shying away from it. And, you know, ironically, it's, you know, one of the only real true American forms of music, along with blues. And I mean, I don't know. They just seem to be, they got rid of, what, 4 or 5 categories this year, and who knows what they're going to do next year. There's been some rumblings about bringing them back, so I hope that happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope so too, because you know what? But then again, Paul, I guess this is where your show kind of comes in, and maybe even shows like The Color of Jazz. And folks, both Paul and I could use your help on our projects. This is my project, The Color of Jazz, and of course, Paul's got his own project going. And of course, when that show comes out on cable, please make sure that you support Paul and that you watch it and you let everyone know to watch it. And this is how we get the support that we need. The Color of Jazz needs your support, and definitely needs your support in getting the numbers up so I can bring folks on like Paul Brown, you know, Karen and Ken and all the folks, Walter, that's been on the show with us today. And so please help us out in that regard.
Have us on at the same time so we could talk.
That's right.
I wanted to talk to Ken.
You know what? We talked about like maybe doing multiple artists at the same time. And you know what? I think that's coming. I mean, if I can do 4 straight hours, I think I can handle doing 4 people on at the same, maybe at the same time. We'll see. I want to make that happen.
All right.
Definitely.
Cool.
Yes. All right, folks. We got about 5 more minutes with Paul. And of course, I'm enjoying your company, and I know everyone else is as well. So, Paul, you hear my battery. Folks, you hear my battery.
Morning for you there now?
I know. It's time to wake up, right? I can't believe my battery's about to die. But you know what? I've been doing this for 4 hours. And, oh, Renee says he's impressed with you as well. I'm going to play You Dig, and that's with Darren Ron. And we're going to play that. So, Paul, get in the chat. Stay in the chat, okay? Just in case both of our batteries die.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Folks, we're going to the music. We're probably going to lose Paul. Well, Paul's going to lose me.
Right here. Maybe I should charge it while you're playing this next song.
Do what you need to do, okay?
Hey.
Hey. And You Dig is on, folks. I want you to dig this. Dig it. Right. Okay, folks, I'm hoping you can still hear me. And Paul Brown, you're the bomb.
Yes, baby.
You're the bomb.
Oh.
Oh.
Been called worse.
Of course, I mean that in the most endearing terms, of course. And folks, both Paul and I want to say goodnight. Both of our batteries are about to die, and I guess that's a sign. So, Paul, say goodnight to folks.
Yes.
Say goodnight to folks, Paul, if you can still hear me.
Good night. I put in the chat room. I just said goodbye to everybody, too. So thanks to everybody for listening. We love you, and hopefully we'll be back in the Denver area soon, and whoever else is listening from all points.
Right?
Okay.
Right on. So, folks, again, thanks for the marathon. You know, it was an amazing evening, even if it was 4 hours, with Karen Briggs, Walter Beasley, Ken Navarro, and of course, following up with Paul Brown in the house, the amazing Paul Brown. And I just want to say thank you. The show is broke up into 2 parts, 2 archives tonight, so make sure you check that out. And I will see you next Sunday. And I've got Miguel Espinosa. He's coming on in the international show, which is earlier in the day. And then Alexander Zonjic and Anthony Crawford. So that'll be next week. In the meantime, stay smooth. We'll be talking with you. Support the color of jazz. Go to the Facebook page. Go to Paul's page. Let him know you're in the house. Send him a message. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out.